10 things we wish we knew as a new realtor.
Yep. So my name's Alan Ridge. I'm the managing broker here at Maximum Realtor Partners.
My name is Ming Richardson, the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partners.
So when you are new, or when we were new, let's put it that way, we look back on some of those things, and we've had some pretty interesting discussions
Oh,
over the
yeah.
years. Just kind of looking at, gosh, these are the things that we wish that we had known as a new realtor. And so we thought this would be a great topic for us to kind of cover today and talk about what you should really be thinking of, how to prepare yourself to be successful as a realtor in our business.
Well, not only that, as a real estate agent, you are the entrepreneur for your own business. So if you don't have any type of business plan or knowing the direction where you like to go, it really is tough because, like anything else, the web, you can get all sorts of data over there. And unfortunately, some of those what I call noises. Okay, and real estate is so local that a lot of stuff you do here are different from California and what have you. So,
Okay, well, the very first thing is, like Ming said, you are a business owner. First and foremost, you are a small business person. And so when so many people get into real estate and they think, I'm going to work for my broker. I'm going to go sell a house. Wrong.
no,
You are a business person. Real estate is the vehicle that you drive your business with. So what you see is that really successful realtors are really great business people.
hmm
And you can't be a great business person if you're not I'm sorry, the best realtors are good business people, and it doesn't work the other way around. We see the people who are really successful are all good business people. And so, like, when you run your business like a business, then you're paid like a business. If you run it like a hobby, or you're somebody that's, I'm just going to sell a few houses, that's different. That's not running your business like a business. But for us, we needed to be able to start off and run our business just like a business. So that's number one, hands down. You're a business owner, run your business like a business.
and as a brand new agent, I mean, there's so much truly disinformation, and even when you go to networking, you'll hear all sort of information that being pumped to you, like, "Oh yeah, this works for me," but what happened is they don't tell you the whole entire underling of what happened to make that a success story.
Yep.
So, what you really truly need when you first get in is truly a mentor, a team, broker, or a coach.
That's number two. You need mentorship.
Absolutely. And without that guidelines, but now you're basically taking someone else's experience over the years and you're consolidating it into a very small, tiny window. Does it allow you to know every aspect of real estate? Not necessary, but it allows you to know how to go about finding answers for some of the questions you may have. If nothing else, make you a little more well versed and asking, oh, this is a red flag. I need to look, investigate, and do more due diligence for my client for that.
Well, and especially when you're new, you don't have that ability to really jump out there and be like, "Oh, I know everything about real estate." But you also want to make sure that you're representing your clients the best way. And what that means is that you're not going to be a walking real estate encyclopedia. We still aren't walking real estate encyclopedias, but you need to have the resources and somebody in your corner that can help you with the answer those kind of questions. So whether it is a mentor, a team, a broker, a coach, you need to have somebody that is helping you grow your business. Yes, there are mentorship fees. Yes, they are absolutely worth it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Like, but one thing I want to remind you of is that your mentor, your coach, your team, your broker, understand they all have personal life. So try to get your stuff done during business hour and not try to think that you can show these houses all weekend long and Sunday night at 8 o'clock you can call your mentor and say, hey, I need a contract written. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that we call homework prior to that you basically practice on so you know exactly what you're looking at when you are in that situation.
Well, and that's item number three. training. See,
Absolutely.
like a lot of times folks go through the real estate school and they think, whoo, I got that 75 hours knocked off and it's
And I
good,
passed.
right? Well, the bad news is that teach, like a 15, maybe 20% of that you're actually going to use in your real estate career. That's what you need to have background knowledge, to stay compliant, that kind of stuff. The bottom line is you have so much to learn. And the bad part is you got to learn it right now. So, like, what you got to learn, like Georgia MLS, FMLS, transaction desk, remind doc, showing time, contracts, all the guard contracts, RE contracts, builder contracts. How do you handle earnest money? What are all the procedures
And a
for
company
everything?
policy and procedure. So it's not just the
Yeah,
software, your CRM. I mean, there's
yeah,
really is like eating an elephant. So you do need to take your time and eat an elephant one bite at a time. And what we mean by that, training,
you do.
consistent training. And I know a lot of people are like, I just got out of real estate school. Why would I want to go training some more? I have learned.
You
I passed my test.
wrong.
No. So there's so much more than just real estate school for someone to be successful in their craft.
Well, you need to master your craft. I mean, to master any craft, you need like 10,000 hours.
Hmm.
And I get it, 75 hours, that was a good accomplishment. You got your license. You've got a lot more learning to do. You really need to focus on that. Also, please take continuing education classes that matter. Take them right away and continue to take them every single month. Your continuing education classes, you don't need to take BS classes that don't matter to your business. You want to take CE classes that matter to what you're trying to learn and how you're trying to grow inside your business. So training, training, training. That's one thing that was a toughie for me, because I kind of felt like, oh, we got there. I'm finally through. And then it's just like, oh my goodness, it never ends. And guess what? It never ends,
So
right?
Alan did the online course. So by the time he's finished
Yeah,
online, he was now done with school. And I
yeah,
get that. It's like a kid going to high school. By the time they graduate, woo!
yeah,
We're going to take a gap year. Don't do that,
yeah.
y'all. Okay. Real estate is constant evolving and constant learning process. If you miss out on some of the process, you may not know how the market's reacting and best negotiate for your client.
Well, number four is something that Ming is amazing at, and she is such a good guide, because this is the way she runs her business, is that you need to answer your phone every time, and no one answers their phone more than this lady right here. I'll be in the middle of a conversation with her, and she'll be like, and she'll answer her phone right then and
Well,
there.
depending, it's just something that I'm expecting, a phone
Oh well,
call. And
no, no, I'm
and
telling you,
you
she
know,
will absolutely shut me
I
down.
would tell my clients that if I don't answer your phone, it's not because I don't love you. I said because I'm right in the middle of something, and I promise you I'll get back with you. And if you will send me a text, if it's something quick and easy, I can answer. I'm a multitasker, so I can answer you while I'm watching or in the middle of something else.
Well, but answer your phone every time. I can't tell you how much business over the years that we've gotten just simply because we answered our phone. How many times we answer our phone and somebody says, "Oh my goodness, thank you for answering. Thank you for picking up. I've called four other people. I've called three different companies." That kind of thing. It's very, very common for us to get that response, because so many people don't answer their phone. So I know that none of us like to answer spam, all these other kind of things, but we've got business from those, because we've seen phone numbers that are listed as spam likely, and guess what? It was a client. So please answer your phone. It is so vitally important that you are.
I had someone a long time ago told me that say, if I look at how many phone calls I made over the year, how much money I make, if I take those phone calls divided by the money that I make, she's like, it's about $50 every time I answer a phone. So why wouldn't I answer my phone?
No,
So, and granted, there are some downtime, there are some personal time, and this is where the boundary you need to set with most of your clients and have a very clear understanding, unless emergency, and when it's emergency because you got a file that's hot right now that needs to be resolved and it's a time sensitive issue. So answer those phones. They appreciate you, and you also may avoid an issue down the road.
now number five is you need to be an educator for your clients.
Absolutely.
The days of like, I'm just going to tell you how things are done is not here. Like, one thing that we learned early on is being willing to take the time and explain the process, pull back the covers, take the time with your clients to explain how everything's done. Take your time with the clients to go through on a contract, on how real estate works. Make your appointments and then sit down and go over. Great realtors are great educators with their clients. For our buyers and our sellers, it's the most expensive asset they've ever owned. You don't want to go into buying or selling the most expensive asset you've ever owned and be like, whatever. You want to know what you're doing. You want to feel comfortable with the people you're doing it with. Please be an educator for your clients. Number 6, you need a target client. And this is a point of contention for some people, and this is one that we even fought at first, because everybody wants to do everything in real estate. Like we can represent buyers, sellers,
Well, what
investors.
happened is one avenue doesn't work, and it may be not because it was you. It may be the situation itself. So, and what happened is that when you are just all over the place, first of all, you're not going to be great at what you do in that segment of real estate.
Well, and it also doesn't mean that that's the only client you're ever going to work with. When you have a target client, that's a single target client that you're marketing to.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean that like if you're marketing to first time buyers, doesn't mean that you can't work a seller. Doesn't mean that you can't work investors. This is the focus for your marketing, and without having a target client, this is where we get so many questions. Where agents will come to us and be like, "What kind of video should I do? What should I do in this? What
Who's
should
your
I post? Yeah, what
audience?
should I post on social media? What should I do here?" Well, if you have a target client, you can answer all those questions. You don't need that, because now you've got a focus for all your marketing. Without having that type of focus, we're just throwing all sorts of things out there into the ether and seeing what sticks. All right, number 7, and this is one that is
Huge.
so important. Have a schedule. Now, I know we got into real estate because we didn't want to have no damn schedule. I get it. I know. I understand.
You want the flexibility and freedom.
Look, you've got to get in, own your mornings, and have a routine. If you were, as a business operator, if you were going to go open a any kind of retail store,
Just remember, you are your own boss and your own employee.
you are, but like if you're going to open a retail business, you would have hours of operation. You would have a system for everything that you're doing. You would have a point of sale system. You would have a marketing system. You would have a time when you took care of clients when they could come in. You would have a closing time. The same thing goes because you are still a small business person. You need to have a schedule and a routine.
Right.
Real businesses don't just roll over at the crack of noon and be like, I'll see what the MLS says today. That's not how you operate a business. You need to have a morning routine where you get up and you get rolling, right? Every single day, you need to have 3 things that happen. You need to spend time prospecting, on the phone, talking to people that you know. I don't mean cold calling. I mean talking to people that you know. You need to spend about an hour a day prospecting. You need to spend about an hour a day working on admin. But don't work on admin until you've prospected. Because if you
Absolutely.
do that, you will never go back to prospecting. So admin comes after that. So don't answer email, any of that kind of stuff. But then you answer email. And then your last hour is marketing. Now's when you're doing your posting to social media, recording your videos, using your lead systems. See, the rest of your day is going to be set up for showings and appointments and,
Networking and
yeah,
further education,
open
whatever it
houses.
is.
That
So
absolutely.
when you first prospect, the reason he says don't do admin before prospecting is because during prospecting, you may have questions that require admin. So if you did your admin first, and then now you gotta go back to admin again. So prospecting is very important because that will allow you to push whatever you need to push out based on the conversation you just have, and potentially, service that client after the prospect.
Yep. Item number 8, set up your database. Your relationships will determine your wealth. It really will. Um, the challenge with databases, CRMs, whatever you want to call it, client relationship managers, all that kind of stuff. When we first start off in real estate, we're like, well, I don't have any business anyway. I don't need to worry about it. And then once you get into real estate and you get busy, it feels like it'd be a really daunting task to go back and have to set up from scratch. Having a database is so vitally important. Everybody you know, and honestly, what your database really needs to consist of is people you know, people that know you, and people you're trying to do business with. I'm not talking about cold calls, cold people, that kind of stuff. What you need to do is you need to set them up in here. All your marketing goes out of here. All leads and all prospects come back into your database. Once you have a database, then you need to focus on the 9 Ds because these are the folks who are most likely to buy and sell real estate the next year. So, what are the 9 Ds?
Death,
Okay.
divorce, diploma, diapers. Go.
Oh, downsizing, discretionary income, daily grind, and dumpsters. This is where you create your hot and your warm list. A hot list is anybody that's going to do business with you in the next
Correct.
60 to 90 days. A warm list is anybody that's going to do business with you in the next year. Someone who falls into that 9D that you're starting to build relationships with. So inside your database, every client gets a property alert. I mean, every buyer gets a property alert. Every seller gets a neighborhood update. This is how you set and run your business. Your business needs to be systematized. This is a very important system that will make or break your entire business here. All right, number 9, getting close here. Number 9 is
Your environment.
where do you work? How do you work? Like, do you have a home office or do you go to the office? Ming could work at home all the time and have no problem. I need to go to the office, otherwise I get like squirrel and kind of go all over. But you got to know yourself on here. What are you in the right brokerage for your environment? How do you dress? Like you go pulling up to a high end listing in a hoopty or in booty shorts. It's not going to be great. You need to make sure that you have the right support, the right team behind you, and overall that environment can really help to facilitate the growth of you as a business owner.
So your environment is important on your mindset as well. That's one thing I do want to point out. A lot of people think I can just roll off the bed, wash my face, brush my teeth, and just go at work. The problem is that if you have a client call you, say, "Hey, Ming, I need to go and see this property," and you're like, "It's going to be an hour, 2 hour minimum," then you may have missed an opportunity. What I'm saying is that you need to make sure your mindset is good, that you're ready and set and go. Because nothing worse when someone is ready and go and you're like, you need to give me a couple hours. So your mindset, your environment, that control how you're going to operate.
Yeah. And then number 10,
Last not least.
appointment first, everything else later. We live and die by appointments. Nobody buys a house. Well, very few people buy a house virtually. You have to build trust. Um, when you meet with anybody, or when you talk to anybody, your number one goal is an appointment. Trust and deals happen face to face. So you need to meet people face to face. Start to understand that you have got to lead with the appointment. Don't wait for a client as to have to ask to meet with you. You need to start off immediately by, can we get together? Can you come to my office? Can we go here? I'll meet you at Chick-fil-A, whatever it is. You have to start focusing heavily, I mean, just crazy heavy on appointments.
And then one thing about I want to say is that the efficiently control your time is to make sure that you do confirm these appointments. Because nothing worse for you drive all the way across the town, and then just to find out that the client had a last minute pop emergency. All right. So, but once again, we're in the business of relationship. Without it, there's no trust, and everybody knows about 5 or 6 other realtor that will meet them face to face.
So we hope that these are 10 things that you can use to help grow your business, and whether you're
Whether
new
you're
or not.
new or not, if
Yeah.
you're rebooting your business, you might want to think about these systems in place.
Good luck. Have a great
Thank you
week.
for watching. See you next week.
Bye now.